Why motion never really ends. Everything you see that seems still is secretly moving. Even silence vibrates with hidden momentum. Rest is not natural. It is carefully enforced. To understand why motion never really ends, we must return to a simple question. What does it mean for something to stop? For most of history, rest felt obvious. A rolling stone slows. A thrown object falls. Motion appears to fade away. But physics reveals a deeper truth. Motion does not disappear on its own. It is stolen. It leaks into the surroundings through interaction. Friction, air resistance, and collisions quietly drain it away. Remove those thieves and motion becomes eternal. The universe never demands stillness. This idea mattered deeply to early thinkers. Aristotle believed motion required constant cause. If pushing stopped, movement should end. That view shaped intuition for centuries. It matched daily experience, but it was incomplete. Then came a radical shift. Isaac Newton reframed motion itself. He proposed a disturbing idea. An object in motion stays in motion forever, unless something interferes. This was not philosophy. It was measurable. When friction was reduced, objects kept moving longer. When resistance vanished almost completely, motion barely changed. Space revealed the truth most clearly. Orbiting bodies did not slow. They simply kept going. This forced a redefinition of rest. Stillness was no longer natural. It was artificial, a result of forces constantly acting. The ground beneath you is stopping you. The air around you is slowing you. Without them, you would never truly stop. This insight connects directly to the modern world. Satellites circle Earth endlessly. Spacecraft drift for decades without engines. Atoms vibrate even at low temperatures. Nothing is ever fully still. Yet this truth remains hidden from intuition. Our senses evolved in thick air, on rough surfaces, surrounded by friction everywhere. We grew up inside a slowing universe. But beneath that experience lies a different reality. Motion is a default state. Energy prefers movement. Change resists unless opposed. The universe resists stillness far more than motion, and that preference shapes everything that follows. Once this principle is understood, new questions emerge. If motion never ends, where does lost motion go? If energy persists, how does it hide? And what happens when nothing is allowed to interfere? Those answers begin to reveal a universe far more restless than it appears. At first, the idea seems simple. Motion continues unless something stops it. But the universe rarely allows simplicity, because motion never truly disappears. It changes form. When a sliding object slows, its motion spreads outward. Friction converts movement into microscopic vibrations. Atoms begin to shake. Heat quietly appears. What looked like lost motion becomes hidden motion instead. This realization reshaped physics completely. Energy could not be destroyed. It could only transform. Movement became heat. Heat became radiation. Radiation became motion elsewhere. Nothing ever truly vanished. This explained why perpetual motion machines always failed. Inventors chased endless movement. They ignored where motion was leaking. Every wheel lost energy to friction. Every gear warmed slightly. The universe always collected its debt. However, this raised a deeper puzzle. If motion always spreads out, why does the universe still move? Why has everything not settled into stillness already? Why do stars burn? Why do galaxies spin? Why does anything happen at all? The answer lies in imbalance. Perfect equilibrium is rare. Temperature differences drive flow. Pressure differences drive motion. Gravity pulls unevenly across space. The universe is lopsided by nature. An imbalance fuels endless change. Even when systems approach rest, something remains. Atoms continue vibrating. Quantum motion never stops. Particles jitter even at absolute zero. Motion is written into reality's lowest layer. This restless foundation keeps the universe alive. Chemical reactions proceed. Electrical currents flow. Life maintains order against decay. Motion feeds complexity. Stillness would mean death. But this persistence carries a cost. Motion spreads and dilutes. Energy becomes harder to use. Order slowly unravels. The universe trends toward disorder overall. Motion continues, but usefulness fades. This tension defines time itself. Past energy was concentrated. Future energy is scattered. The arrow of time follows a spreading motion. Direction emerges from loss. Understanding this reframes everyday experience. A slowing ball is not dying. Its motion is escaping. A cooling object is not losing energy. It is sharing it. Nothing truly stops. It only disperses. And as physics pushed deeper, one unsettling truth appeared. If motion is eternal, then rest is an illusion we impose. A temporary pause created by balance. And balance, in the universe, never lasts forever. This is where motion turns from comfort to threat, because spreading motion creates a one-way process. It defines what can never be undone. When motion disperses, it does not gather itself back. Heat does not flow from cold to hot. Shattered glass does not reassemble. The universe remembers motion, but forgets order. Time gains direction from this imbalance. This principle is called entropy. It measures how motion spreads, how energy loses focus, how order quietly dissolves, and it rules everything from stars to thoughts. At first, entropy feels abstract, but it governs every action you take. Every breath spreads energy. Every step creates heat. Every thought consumes structured motion inside your brain. Life itself runs on borrowed order, yet motion still never ends. It simply becomes less useful. Stars burn fuel, then cool. Galaxies drift, then thin. The universe moves toward a quiet, restless uniformity. Not stillness, but sameness. This creates a paradox. If motion never ends, but order always fades, then the universe is always moving towards something unreachable. A state where motion exists everywhere, but nothing meaningful happens. A restless silence. Physics calls this heat death. Not destruction, not collapse. Just motion without direction. Energy evenly spread. Change without progress. And yet we are here, alive, complex. Define that trend locally, because gravity cheats entropy temporarily. It pulls matter together, creates stars, creates gradients, creates motion with purpose. Every structure you see is borrowed time, a delay against spreading motion, a pocket of order resisting the inevitable. Life is motion fighting dilution, meaning fighting equilibrium. This makes motion precious. Every organized movement matters. Every moment of structure is temporary. The universe allows activity, but never promises permanence. Once you see this, motion becomes emotional. It is not just physics. It is the reason moments pass, the reason memories form, the reason nothing can be held forever. Motion never really ends, but what motion can build slowly disappears. And that fragile tension is what makes existence matter at all. The climax of this story is not explosive. It is quiet. Motion never ends, but meaning fades. The universe keeps moving, even as structure slips away. This changes how we see time. Time is not just ticking seconds. It is motion losing focus, energy spreading outward, possibility narrowing with every interaction. The future is not empty. It is diluted. Every moment you experience is organized motion. Your heartbeat, your thoughts, your memories forming right now. They exist because motion is temporarily focused, because imbalance still survives, because the universe is not settled yet. But it will, not suddenly, not violently. Gradually, motion will remain, but gradients will vanish. Stars will cool, galaxies will dim. Change will continue, without consequence. This does not make life meaningless. It makes it rare. Every pocket of order is a gift. Every structure is borrowed against entropy. Every action matters because it cannot be reversed. Motion gives time its value. Physics does not promise forever. It promises persistence, movement without guarantee, change without direction. Meaning must be created locally, briefly, intentionally. Once you understand this, stillness feels different. A quiet room is full of motion. A resting object is resisting forces. A pause is only balance holding for now. Nothing is ever truly finished. The universe is restless by design. Motion is its heartbeat. Entropy is its memory. And time is the story written between them. Sometimes the smallest shift in perspective becomes the beginning of a new future. Why